All right, everybody. Hey, it's Good Time Gal. It's been a while, but good news. My holiday 2024 cookbook is out. Yay! So the cookbook is out, but we still have Good Time Gal cookbook that is on our TikTok page right now. I will be making sure once I get the paperback copy, I will post it, and then we can all start sharing in the wonderful Christmas cheer. So today, since it's been a while and it is the Christmas season, I'm going to be making some basic sugar cookies. And I know a lot of us are like, I want a different cookie. I want something big. But a sugar cookie is one of the best cookies for Christmas. You can decorate it with candy. You can decorate it with any kind of festive treat that you like, and they pair really well with hot cocoa. They pair well with tea. They're really good before dinner or after dinner. So we're going to do a basic sugar cookie. This is going to take us about 90 minutes, which is a total time of 2 hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but we're only going to be using 2, 4, 6, 7 ingredients. So we'll get started. And of course, I'm your lovely host, Good Time Gal. So we're just going to have some really great tunes. I'm going to go ahead and make these sugar cookies, and you're going to love them because we've got the Christmas ornaments, we've got the star, we've got the tree, we've got Santa. Yep. So these are going to turn out super cute. We've just got the regular round one. These are very old ornaments. These were passed down. These are like generational cookie ornaments. And then of course I have my little X-Acto knife for any kind of other sugar cookie decorations that I plan on doing. But we're here, so let's get started, okay? So what I like to do first, it's gonna ask me to whisk the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. So usually how I like to do that is I like to use this. And this is my salt. It's just 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then it's 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Usually I like to put the baking powder in here because sometimes baking powder has hard chunks in it. So if I've sifted, see there's little pieces inside. Yep. So that's why you sift. And then I'm going to do the same with the flour. This is it. And the reason I'm sifting the flour is if you ever notice when you eat a sugar cookie, it's super crumbly and it's delicious. This is why, because whoever made them for you, they sifted the flour so there's no bumps, there's no lumps. It's just pure, fluffy flour. And that's when we say baking with love. When a French chef, excuse me, say that 5 times fast. But when a French chef usually says, I'm cooking with love, they mean a lot of butter. But when American chefs say it, they mean that they are using a gentle hand, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm using a gentle hand so that this can be delicious for you all. So that's just like a little chef. It's a little chef tip for everybody. And please feel free to follow me on my TikTok or to check out the cookbook, Good Time Gal cookbook. I wrote that cookbook in 2023 as a consolation prize for coming in 5th place with the Favorite Chef cooking competition that is hosted by Carla Hall and sponsored by the James Beard Foundation. It has about 34 meal plans and over 70 recipes. It also has a home for the holiday section, which I'm super proud of, and I think you guys will love it. I also have a food and lifestyle blog that correlates with the cookbook so that you never have to feel alone when you cook. I'm all about food equity. I'm all about making sure that people can cook good food at affordable prices, right? And also, I'm all about people being able to not only cook good food, but afford it, because don't nobody have time for buying a recipe and not knowing half of the ingredients that we're getting, right? Like I hate that. Don't you? You be ready, or you get the recipe and you make it and it tastes awful because you've never used the ingredient. Yep. So that's kind of, I always tell people my cookbook, Good Time Gal cookbook, is a useful cookbook. You're gonna always want to use it. You'll never feel like, it's just gonna sit on my counter. There's always something. There's desserts. If you like seafood, there's a whole seafood section. If you love Southern food, there's a whole Southern section. My mother has some really elegant desserts that I put inside of the cookbook. So no, the cookbook is a really great tool. And if you're one of those people who just, you want to get back into throwing parties, because when the pandemic hit, everybody decided to stop celebrating, right? We all got scared and we're like, well, I can't throw this party because people may get sick and I don't want to. But now we're at a place where we all want to celebrate. And I feel like my cookbook, Good Time Gal cookbook, it's one of those cookbooks where it's really great for a celebration. And it's really great when you want to introduce easy food to your friends, right? You want to impress them, so you make my pina colada cake, and everybody has a great, yes, pina colada cake, you heard me. So that's kind of the point of it. It's just, I'm an avid fan of believing that food brings us all together, right? And it does, it brings us all together. So we just have to remember that. When I'm done with the cookies, I'll show you guys the cookbook, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll have like a whole shindig about it. We got a little more to go. And then the balls that are left, I like to smush them and then do it again. And then it just comes off. Got a little more left. I usually don't do this on Sundays, but I have caught up on all my other projects, so I decided, why not? Let's cook on live today. This is the last bit of the flour. Truly, I am always cooking. That's the crazy part. And so this, see how pretty it is and fluffy? This is why we sift. So now when I add the rest, and I'm going to take a spatula, because remember I added the baking powder and I added the salt. So now I'm just going to rotate it a little bit. So I'm just rotating so that it's evenly distributed. And see how fluffy it still is. Once you sift it, it's just wonderful fluffy flour. And so then we did that. And now we need a cup of sugar. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to grab another bowl. There's my bowl. And it's calling for us to whisk our butter right here along with our sugar. So we're going to do it. I bought a new one and I hate it because it takes me forever to just put one whisk in. It's just so agonizing. It really is. All right, so now that I've got the whisk, so I want a cup of sugar, and I use gluten-free sugar. I'm going to pour it in. And if you notice, this is a recipe that you take time. You see I'm relaxed. I'm not rushing. And that's really what the spirit of Christmas is about. It's about you making something, taking your time, taking a beat, taking a breath, and just going with the flow of it, right? So now that I'm going to have to cream this together, right? But I want to make sure that it's very fine. So I'm going to grate this, and then I'll cream it, okay? Grating your butter just gives it a fluffier consistency, right? That's why I'm doing it. I like for my sugar cookies to be crisp but fluffy at the same time, right? I also do this with chocolate chip cookies, right? Butter is the thing that holds it together. Remember I said chefs call butter love. So when they say I cook with a lot of love, they mean butter. When American chefs say we cook with a lot of love, we mean finesse. So technically, as a French chef and an American chef, I'm doing both, right? I'm cooking with delicacy, and I'm also using a lot of butter. 10s across the board. I think the wrappers are goner. I like to save my wrappers, so I'm going to just set him aside. This is what it looks like before we beat. So it's just a nice grated clump, right? And that's going to help with the whisk. That's why I did that. It's going to help when I whisk it so that the beater doesn't have to work hard, right? We want everything to just go smooth. And that's why we take our time. And even though I've had this recipe for 4 years, I still like to read the recipe, right? But you never know. So now it's light and fluffy. This is very light and fluffy. So I'm going to add the egg. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm running low on vanilla. That's all I got. That's all I got. All right, so now we have the butter, sugar, vanilla egg, all that fluffy flour we did at the beginning. I'm going to combine them both now, okay? So first, I'm just gonna combine half. Only doing half. And then I'm going to beat it again. I'm going to add more. And that's the rest, so I'm going to beat it again. this is our beautiful dough. Now, I'm going to take my spatula and just press it together to make sure. And it's dough. It's officially dough. There's my sugar cookie dough. It's a perfect sugar cookie yellow. So now I just want to make sure that I combine it. Now I'm going to find some plastic wrap. I'm going to divide this. I'm going to flatten it out, and I'm going to put it in the freezer for 20 minutes. Or you can put it in resealable plastic and you can freeze this up to 3 months. Sugar cookie dough is very malleable and it lasts. The resealable plastic is so that it doesn't taste frozen, because you can't dip this in milk and redo it. So this is the next step. I'm going to find some plastic wrap and then we'll go on. I wasn't dying. It was close. And let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take my cooking knife. It's just a plastic knife. I'm just going to there you go. Just gonna half it. This recipe makes 32 sugar cookies, so before you go, Christy, no, it's a lot of sugar cookies. So now I'll take a little flour. Just a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to cover this. And the reason I did it this way is when it comes out in 20 minutes, I can just roll it more and then just use fun, festive cookie cutter, right? a little flour. I'm going to take this batch. Like that. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So this is just in the freezer 20 minutes, okay? We're not going any longer than that. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. All right, so while we wait for our cookies to freeze and we do our design, I wanted to share with you guys, like I said before, I was going to go ahead and share about the cookbook that I have on TikTok. This is him, this is her. It's a Good Time Gal cookbook. If you have enjoyed any of the recipes that I have made, if you have gotten bit by the cooking bug watching me cook, for the last couple of months, please feel free to join in on the cooking fun by purchasing Good Time Gal cookbook. I believe I do have a coupon right now going on. If you purchase it now while we are on, if you don't feel like purchasing, please feel free to give me likes, roses if you have had a really good time with this live. But this is a really great book. Like I told you guys before, it's all about food equity. So these recipes are affordable, they are easy, and they are delicious. And I think that's the number one thing that we all want when we have a wonderful meal is we want easy, we want affordable, we want delicious. And I guarantee that 75 to 80% of these recipes in this cookbook you will want to reuse again and again and again, because there will always be someone who will tell you, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed that potato salad, I really enjoyed that Louisiana crab boil, I just really enjoyed the whole meal. It also has meal plans set up so you don't have to do a lot of thinking. We have something in here called the bad day meal. I know all of us have terrible, rotten, no good, very bad days, and there is nothing like a hearty vegetarian bowl of chili that can lighten the mood. And the vegetarian chili, it's good whether you add meat or whether you don't. And that's a lot of my recipes in this book. They can be substituted for the things that you like, or you can just go balls out, as we say, and just enjoy the meals. There is a home for the holiday menu. There's also my Valentine's Day sleigh menu, which is coming up. There are some New Year's menus in here. There's also some pantry. It is a color cookbook, so there are images inside. We also talk about what cooking means to me and how it is passed down from generation to generation, from my mother's mother, from her mother, and the legacy that cooking in our family really means. This is me, I know. And we talk about, why, we are called a good time gal, which is, a person who drives their life out of seeking pleasure. And for me, seeking pleasure has been through experiences, through life, and through really good food. My family and I were raised that food is a conduit and it can bring people together. And I like to do the same, which is bring people together through good food. Doesn't matter what race, religion, or color you are. If that sandwich is good, baby, that sandwich is good. So I just wanted to share this, guys, with you. No, the basic sugar cookie recipe is not in here. That's just a recipe that I have. The spicy hermit cookie recipe is not in here as well. That would be on the blog that is the sister of this book. But the whole point of any of this is to make you guys really good cooks at home, because I think we're all getting to a point where we would just like to be able to feel accomplished, have a little more self-confidence in ourselves, and cooking can do that. I know as a competitive cook coming in 5th place in a cooking competition of hundreds of thousands of people, that really did give me a confidence boost. I felt like maybe I wasn't good enough, smart enough. I don't know. You get the enoughs, right? Like, I'm not just fill in the blank enough. But, you find out real quick that you are. And I find that the more you do something, the more confident you become in it. And that's a really great part about this book, is the more you do these recipes, the more confident you are. And also, I also want to point out, these recipes are foolproof. So if you mess up, no one's going to notice. For real. No one's going to notice, because they're easy mistakes to cover, right? These aren't recipes where you're gonna just need to be really focused unless you're a new cook. And I always tell people, these are really good recipes for your kids as well. We have some really good kid-friendly recipes in here. We have some really great recipes for beginners. We just have some really awesome recipes that can foster your culinary abilities and make you that at-home chef that you want to be. And that's the beauty of it. Sometimes we don't have to cook for other people, and sometimes it's just for yourself. I think that is a big thing. Like me learning how to cook, it was more of a therapy instead of like feeding people, right? It was like, I need to get my mind off something, so I'll bake bread. And then it was like, oh my gosh, you're really good at baking this bread. And then that became a habit. So some of us, that may be something that we end up doing, where we end up cooking because it soothes our mind. We may end up cooking because we just enjoy it, and we may do it because we like to push our boundaries, right? Push our own limits. Iron sharpens iron, and sometimes we have to be our own iron in order to do that. But no, cooking with Good Time Gal is always really fun. And if you look, it lets you know, it says delicious, effortless recipes for family get-togethers or special occasions. So this is an all-around cookbook. So this isn't just a cookbook for the holidays, a cookbook for Christmas, Thanksgiving. This is a cookbook for winter, spring, summer, or fall. This is a cookbook for baby showers, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. This is a cookbook for, I don't really know what I want to cook today, but I want something different. Let me go through here. This is a cookbook for, I miss good old Southern home cooking, and I would love to have some. This is that. Let me flip to page 23 and give me a meal plan going. This is what this is. This is that one-stop shop that you've been waiting for. This is that cookbook that can really elevate the level of cooking for an affordable price. This is that cookbook where people are gonna go, where did you learn how to cook like this? It's true. I wish I was lying, but I'm so serious. A lot of these recipes were passed down from my grandmother or from older women that I hung out with in my younger youth. I am 43 years old. So a lot of these recipes are from my young 20s coming up, and I perfected them. Some of these are some of my family favorites that I still cook to this day. The Frito pie, for sure. Yeah, and my grandmother, she wanted to be sure to make sure that her better than sex cake got in this book. So there is a better than sex cake in this book. So this book is just, it's a delight. It's a delight. I will say that. It was delightful writing it, but it was also delightful just being a part of it, just being able to be open and let you guys in on what my family deems special, right? Because everybody has, you know, that one recipe that your mom makes, or that one recipe that your grandma makes, or that one thing. But I find my family has so many different things. Everybody has a special dish that they make. My eldest sister, she likes to make a chocolate chip pecan pie, and she will not give me the recipe. I know. Katrina, she makes really great macaroni and cheese. And when I say really great, I'm underplaying this mac and cheese. That cheese will make you bite your hands off. My brother is really good at making steaks, asparagus, like grill master to the T with that. My sister Carla, she's really good at making potato salad from scratch. Yes, from scratch. And I always beg her for the recipe. And I actually put that in here where I thank her and I say, if only you would give me the recipe, because that's how good the potato salad is, y'all. It would have changed your life. It would have changed my life. Let's see. My dad is an aficionado on the grill as well. He's a pit master, a grill master. My mom and dad owned a barbecue restaurant several years ago, and it was one of the best barbecue restaurants in Portland, Oregon. My grandmother, before that, received an award from President Obama for her culinary skills as an African-American female chef during the Jim Crow era. So cooking is just in my blood. It's just something that I have been passionate about, and I'll probably always be passionate about. The next phase for us is the seasoning, the Good Time Gal seasoning, which we do have. I have to do some last minute touches on it, and it's perfect, okay? We'll be done with it. Let me go show it. I mentioned it, and then everybody, you didn't show it. All right, so this is the seasoning. This is the next step. So we've got the cookbook. So my next step on TikTok, it'll be this, the seasoning, and it's a beautiful Slaughterhouse rub. Right now, it is selling like hotcakes, and I want everybody to be able to afford it. So I'm gonna make sure that that will be readily available for you guys. But that's what we're all about. It's all about making sure we all get good food at an affordable price, and it's all about making sure we're all confident in our food skills. You don't have to cook like me or Chef Ramsay, but I do want to make sure that you're able to feed yourself, because there's nothing worse than being stuck in a blizzard and you having to go to Family Dollar because you can't feed yourself, right? I would much prefer you be able to be like, oh my gosh, I remember there's this 10-minute dish that Good Time Gal made, and it was like chicken, it was a red wine sauce, and I was able to cook it and live my life and breathe. I think that's the number one thing I want for everybody, is we have to become more self-reliant, right? And instead of codependent on others. Like, it's great that DoorDash comes, but wouldn't it be great if you could spend less, you know, maybe like 75% less? Yes, 75% less. Look, one of these meals in here is $15, and if you were to order it on DoorDash, it would up it to $26. So that's 75. That's a 75% bump. Think about that. If you could cook your own meals and they were easy, delicious, and affordable, would you want to do DoorDash? No. If you knew without a doubt it was going to be delicious, if you knew without a doubt you weren't wasting your time or your money or your effort, of course you would. And that's the beauty of this cookbook. You are not going to waste your time. You're not going to waste your money. You're not going to waste your effort. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, it is. It's super achievable for you to be able to cook as good, if not better than me. And I applaud that, right? And like I tell people all the time, people say, well, you only came in 5th place. And it's like, well, hey, I still, you know, hey, we won. We still won, right? We still on TikTok live with a cookbook, so we won. And that's what this is about. I think we have a couple more minutes. We have a couple more minutes on the cookie dough. So I'm gonna sit this here. You guys. Okay. Well, we got that going. I'm gonna start cleaning up a little bit more. My cookie pan. $3.20. A little bit to go. We're waiting on sugar cookies. We have them in the oven. We've got, I think, not the oven, I'm sorry, the freezer. And then once we get them out of the freezer, we will roll them into these really adorable cookie cutter shapes. We've got Santa. Christmas tree. The star. The bell. And hearts. So we're just getting ready. If your kids like being messy, sugar cookies are the best because they can have that mess and feel like it's snowing at the same time, right? But that's, you know, I know a lot of parents nowadays, they don't really like to get messy, but have fun, get messy. Why not? What is it gonna hurt? What is gonna happen if you get messy? Nothing, right? That's the point of cooking. Cooking should be done with passion and abandon. It should be messy. You should want a messy kitchen because that means you did it right. It's true. 2 minutes. All right, got them out. Let's begin. We got it out just in time. All right. I think this is as good as I'm going to get it. I don't want it too bad. So my parchment paper, I like to refurbish our butter wrappers. So I'm gonna line this. I need 2 more. What is going on in this kitchen? And don't worry, I usually will chop these up and put them in an individual resealable bag, and then I just reuse the butter. So this is just sustainability, right? This is me making sure that I am food equity, right? This is also food equity, making sure that we're not wasteful. Everybody has enough, and we're not wasteful. All right, it's beautifully lined. So I'm gonna switch this out now. We now have a beautiful dough. I've already got what I want to use. And I'll move it over so you can see a little better. There. So I'm gonna, of course, use the medallion. So I'm gonna hit that there. The bell. The tree. Santa. And now that I've made these imprints, now I'm gonna remove this. And I'm just gonna repeat. See what I'm doing? I'm gonna repeat. Tree. Here. Santa. And the star. Alright. So now that I've done that, I'm just lift the shortbread cookie dough out where it was. This is my bell. Better. Better. This is the Christmas tree. There's Santa. The star. Oh shoot. No, my bell. did it. So let me see if I can flip the camera so that you can see. All right. So this is what the sugar cookies are gonna look like. Some of them are a little too thin, like this one was a little too thin, but we eventually worked it out, right? That's a really good one. That's a really good one. So yes. That's where we're at. So yes, we are going. That's where we're at. So yes, we are going now in the oven, and then they'll be done. Well, as always, I have had so much fun with you guys on my live. Thank you so much for showing up. Please, while the holidays are here, please feel free to pick up my cookbook, Good Time Gal. It is available on TikTok, and please feel free to purchase it. Please feel free to give likes, follows, share my recipes, do what you like. All right, but have a great Sunday, okay?